Ooh. He's saving his game, folks.
I damn near took out the first city.
What game are you playing?
Age of Empires, of course. Why the hell would I play anything else? Is there another game?
Great question. I think there is. Yeah, would you get on roll20.net there, Drew?
Damn it. You were late. It's not my fault.
He's too busy playing a game from 1985.
It is not. It's re-released in...
I'll go to bed.
I'm playing a game.
What's the baby want?
First date in 1885.
We listen and stuff.
It's listening time, everybody. Get your listen on!
I'm in a different room today, so I'm being annoyed by a different child.
Oh, is that why that happened?
I see. I saw. Oh,
Drew, you're still not on Roll20.
I am too, you bitch.
Well, I don't see you.
Never mind. Now I'm in it.
Wow, it's very hostile for someone who's completely wrong.
It is quite hostile.
Shut up.
So I'm getting everything set up here. I wasn't sure if we'd have everyone, so I was only 98% set up. Oh, that's so much typing. It paused for a second and then resumed.
I had to think about what else to type. I was posting on the book face. As I do. Do you guys still play World of Warcraft? Really?
Great question.
You clearly haven't joined us for a stream in like 3 years.
Yeah, the answer is no. I'm sorry. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone.
It's good to be back.
And by everyone, I mean mainly you four. How was the past 2 months of not playing World of Darkness? Was it good?
It was alright.
Yeah, it's fine.
Very exciting.
It made me sad.
Did I open the wrong character sheet? I did open the wrong character sheet.
Ooh, you're fired.
I found my new character. It's been like 7 years since we played this. I don't even remember anything.
Fair enough.
Pretty sure you died.
I was probably close to death. I don't... Good lord, who's getting the synopsis point for this bitch?
Yeah, it's been a while. We can skip over the bonus XP if no one wants to attempt it.
I think I might have written something down. Let me check.
All right, give it a go. I will freehand a drawing as you describe what happened last time we played.
Didn't you have a previously free-handed drawing?
I deleted that because, well, you'll see in a minute. I did something with the mapping tools in Roll20.
Oh.
It's much nicer.
Well, we shall see.
I found a recipe for gingerbread cookies.
That's the wrong thing.
I don't think that's gonna help us, but who's to say? I don't know.
Okay, I got some stuff.
All right, here we go. I'm ready to interpret what you say.
Okay.
With visuals.
Let me pull up Roll20 as well so I can watch.
Okay.
I lost it. Oh well.
It's okay.
So we learned some routes on our way up the hill.
Uh-huh.
And we healed Kingmaker, even though Druby was complaining that we shouldn't.
Again? That was old.
Was it?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he's dead. He fell down the mountain after the bear attack like 2 fights ago.
Let's see.
No, we healed him there, and then we took him with us to the hut, right?
Maybe this is the last session.
Leo, if you're really quiet, do I need to turn you up? Let me...
Rhythm Bot is really loud.
Well, you're free to turn down Rhythm Bot. I think I have it muted. Because I'm listening to it. I'm listening to it in the just on YouTube.
Okay.
Better now.
Camp of Dead Death Mage, and I tried to puke in a bush, but I failed my roll.
Whoa! Slow down. You lost me already. So you found a little stand of trees on your way up the mountain, right?
Yeah.
So I'll draw those because they got to be green. And then there was a little camp inside the little stand of trees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then what happened in the camp?
We found a name carved there, Maribel Walker.
Maribel Walker. Yep.
And then I have in my notes, Albacore stares at corpse for upwards of 20 minutes. I believe he needed to roll several times to figure out what the corpse was doing.
I remember that. Yep.
Sammy looks at the past and sees a shadowed figure coming up the mountain. It's Allison, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. Let me draw something to represent the past.
Okay.
This is a clock going backwards in time.
Yeah. Good. Fluke stops him before he sees anything else.
You saw a freaky figure walking up the mountain toward the camp.
Yep.
And something happened, and Fluke yanked you out of the vision.
Yep. And then, let's see. It turns out the corpse was caused to die of old age by a deuce.
Yes.
And then we decided to sleep.
Figuring there was probably not going to be a better spot to sleep further up the mountain,
Yeah.
you slept in the corpse of the old man to keep yourselves warm.
It didn't work very well.
It was toasty.
Juby swore an oath,
Sammy.
swore an oath to prevent Fluke from betraying us, which
Yes.
probably won't work.
You never know.
Then
You're welcome, everyone.
Albacore picked the old man's pockets. I think he got a cool knife that's been
Sure
around
did.
for thousands of years.
2,500 years, I
Bone
think.
knives.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
made of a human bone.
while we're resting, Kingmaker run for it down the hill,
Yeah.
and by our best guess, he probably got eaten by wolves.
So this is Kingmaker's trail down the mountain, and it's yellow because he was peeing the whole way.
Yeah. And then we headed further up the mountain, and there was some strong winds to prevent us from going up any farther. And then we get to the top, well, not the top, but plateau where there's a graveyard and some weird noises. And then there's a path to a cabin and an old scary tree and many gravestones in the graveyard and a very evil tree
A very, very evil tree. It's
because
green.
of all the hangings that were done in said tree.
It was a hanging tree, that's right.
Yep. And that's all I got for notes.
That's all you got. That's pretty good. Good job. Bonus
Thank
XP
you.
for Norland.
Ooh.
What did he miss?
Oh boy. I mean, we're not gonna.
Just everything.
He got I'd say he got all the
Pertinent.
really salient pertinent points. Yeah. I gotta figure out how to delete all this shit. Oh jeez. Can I just clear all drawings or something? Yes, clear drawings. Clear. All right. What did he miss? Let me think. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got it. I mean, while Sammy was viewing the more immediate past and seeing what happened to the old man in the campsite, Fluke was viewing the distant past at a high rate of speed and confirming either for herself or for all of you what happened on this mountain over the last several hundred years. And then also what the old man had been up to for the past 50 years. And what she decided was he would typically go down the mountain for supplies, whether that's bear meat or deer meat or wolf meat, but always came back up with wood. And I don't mean a boner.
Not just a boner.
Not just a boner. Sometimes he came back with a boner. But he'd come back up with slats of wood, and then he would carve names into them in his camp here. And then he would travel up the mountain with the carved slabs of wood, then come back down without the slabs of wood, having apparently left them at the peak. And then he would renew the process the next day or a couple days later. He'd carve some more names and bring them back up the mountain. And now that you've reached the peak of the mountain, Well, let's bring up the map of the peak of the mountain. Does anybody else have anything they want to add before we start screwing around here?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's just start screwing around then.
Yay.
Here we are.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
So cool.
So,
That-
Must zoom out.
yeah, you might want to zoom out a bit.
There we go.
Oh, this Roll20.net is a little bit finicky sometimes.
I think I would like to put more points in strength and then just do like a hang around the edge of this thing, this summit to get to the other side instead of walking through the middle.
Well, I've drawn it like it's a sheer cliff, or drawn in the world's biggest air quotes. I've drawn it like a cliff, but it's a plateau at the top of the mountain, so you don't have to do a Sylvester Stallone cliffhanger around the edges. You can just walk.
But I don't want to fight John Lithgow.
All right, so you've arrived at the northeastern corner of the map, and this is sort of what I was trying to describe when you arrived a month ago. There is a trail across the top of the mountain. It goes past a big mean tree, which is inhabited by an ancient, murderous, non-communicative spirit. And Shale attempted to talk to it, and it didn't really want to talk.
I thought it was interesting that it made its branches into what appeared to be a middle finger at him.
It had an old noose hanging from it, and it has been used for many, many hangings over the course of God knows how many years. So it may at one time have been a perfectly normal tree with a perfectly normal tree spirit, but maybe it's gone mad after all the death. But that's the tree. Out here at the outskirts of the graveyard on the northeastern end, there's a lot of small gravestones. And at the edges here, they're all rudimentary, and it appears that they are the same as the wooden slabs that the old man was producing in his camp. They've got names scratched into them with his bone knife and his weird-looking scrawl and with all his characteristic misspellings. But every single one of these has petrified into stone. And they are spaced very closely together. And there are many hundreds of them. That's more or less what you can see from here. Let me draw where you are. I like drawing things now. Here we are. This circle.
My name is Simon. I like to do drawings.
This is a circle-ish thing with an X in it and an I over the top, with the symbol of the Illuminati to the left. That's where you are.
So we're at the Triforce.
Yes.
I would like to collect the Triforce.
Too late. Ganon got it.
Damn it.
I would like to stab the hanging tree with my bone knife.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Well, you will
If I
need
just
to.
got a knife, I feel like I should stab it.
It's prime stabbing time, if you ask me. I gotta turn this music down a little more.
You're gonna have a hard time missing, I hope.
One would think. Trees don't tend to move much.
Yeah, but did you hear him say that you have to approach it first? Which makes me want to pre-draw my flamethrower. Except it's not really a flamethrower, so maybe just my nail bat.
Is it currently in metal state or wood state?
Shut up!
I get it, because Drew doesn't. Drew's-
Remember things?
Drew's,
Details are troubling.
How do I delete the fucking? No, I don't want to scribble on this anymore because now I don't know how to. I don't want to clear all the drawings. I think the path is a drawing. Well, the whole outside is a drawing. How do I delete this shit? Oh man,
I'll go to help in docs and see if it says.
now I'm just drawing little dots on it.
Oh, there's lots of things.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay, so.
Okay.
I still need to turn you up some more, and I need to turn the music down. Jesus. The volume balance is shit tonight.
He could just, not have his mic in his ass.
No, it's right in front of my mouth. Someone was complaining about that shit the other day. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe Discord is fucking with you.
Or maybe my headset is dying.
I mean, it still sounds like normal audio quality. It's just very quiet. Okay. So you want to stab the tree with your new 2,500-year-old bone knife?
Yeah.
Let me try and let's remind me what we said about your bone knife last time. It belonged to someone who lived around 2,500 years ago.
Yep.
And it was used in it's similar to the tree. It has seen much death.
Yeah, it's done bad things.
But not similar, dissimilar to the tree. It seems okay with that. Like the tree is not happy with its state. The knife is like, sweet, yeah, bring it on, more death.
Cool.
So
you also said that it is inhabited by an angry, sleepy spirit.
Right,
but
yes.
I don't recall if we know, what kind of spirit.
Well, you don't.
Assumedly a knifey spirit, or a human bony spirit.
You could ask your spirit expert to take a guess, but...
Hey, spirit expert, take a guess.
What am I guessing?
I think.
What kind of spirit is it?
What kind of spirit is in my tree stabbing knife?
All right, so
Why don't you roll
name carving knife?
Why don't you roll spirit plus gnosis plus investigation?
okie dokie.
Oh Jesus! Okay, I freaked out. I saw what looked like a couple of 10s, but it's just if you look at I don't know if you're all seeing the same thing, but all of the dice came up with a 10 visible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
It looked like you rolled 4 10s. I was like, what the fuck?
Which would be phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, 2 successes. Oh, let me get my shit out. It's heavy. Oh. And a little bag for my disc. I'm going to check something real quick. Okay. It is in fact a bone spirit. It's not that it was attracted to this bone because it is a tremendous example of a bone. Probably, you suspect, it came to this area because there were a great many bones, and the spirit felt affinity for them and came here. So you've got a sleepy bone spirit in your knife, and it's been enjoying 2,500 years of death.
Nice.
So.
And what do we know about the tree spirit?
Not a whole lot.
Spirit guide.
Want me to roll about that one too?
Well, so far what we know is that it is murderous and uncommunicative, and it's been driven mad by centuries of death hanging in and around its branches. But if you want to roll, you can try and decipher more, or even communicate with it. You tell me what you want to do.
I'm gonna see if I can communicate with it.
Didn't you already try that?
I don't remember.
Is that not how we learned it's non-communicative?
Well, maybe he'll roll better this time.
But it sees me with a knife now. It might,
Yeah.
It sees you.
loosen its lips.
What if we're staring at its ass? You don't know anything.
No.
People have been hanging people from my ass for.
Should I roll the
2,500
same thing to try to communicate with the tree, or something different?
Let's see. Let me look at the spell list. I bet there's a spell for talking to spirits.
Seems like a thing they'd have.
Yeah. So there is Spirit Tongue, which lets you
Spirit tongue. Yeah.
more or less speak their language. How many dots in Spirit do you have?
2.
Like that tree.
2 dots.
Tongue it.
Can you do more with 2
Your
dots?
Spirit tongue.
Not really. Yeah, why don't you just try casting Spirit Tongue? Do you have it as a rote by chance, or
No, because nobody has spirit or life as their thing, so I couldn't learn anything from anybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, then just roll Spirit plus Gnosis.
Okie dokie.
That's pretty good. 2 successes. So, Spirit Tongue says, detect their unseen presence and see and hear and speak with them. Well, you detect the presence of a very old spirit in the tree, and you detect the presence of a very old spirit in Albacore's knife. The knife is totally silent. I mean, insofar as you suspect you are now able to hear it when spirits talk, this one is not talking. The tree is emitting what sounds sort of like a guttural rumble, like a growl.
Stab it.
Sounds like we should stab it.
Jesus. I would like to move to the back of the group.
I also feel like I should point out that I have the common sense merit.
Common sense allows me to roll for you or let me see. Let me remind myself of common sense.
It was something like that, yeah.
I don't think it's working.
I'd like to draw my flamethrower.
So the GM can make a wits and composure roll once per chapter to save you from a disastrous course of action, or if you're stumped. I'm gonna choose not to do that at the moment.
All right, cool. It's not disastrous, guys. I'm doing some stabbing.
All right.
What do I roll to stab it?
I'm choosing not to save you from a disastrous course of action.
That's fine.
None of us have died yet, and he's just waiting for that.
All right, roll strength plus. You know what? It's a weapon, so you get strength plus weaponry plus. I think it's probably 2 for the knife. So you should, if you haven't already marked it, what did you mark anything when you picked up the knife?
I marked it as 1L.
Oh, 1L. Okay, so then it's strength plus weaponry plus 1.
Do I get any bonuses because it's a tree?
Because it's a large tree and it's stationary and not trying to avoid you, I'll give you a plus 2.
All right, so strength, weaponry, plus 1, plus 2.
How do I feel like we're about to get doused like Carrie in pig blood or in tree blood?
I really hope I hit it. I missed it completely.
You're quaking with fear and you're trying to get close and you take a wild swing and nearly drop the knife, but completely miss the tree.
Can I roll for whether or not I pissed myself in laughter?
You don't.
Okay.
Marlon, you seem to have dropped off of Roll20, by the way.
Yeah. I closed the wrong window. I'll be right back.
You want to try again?
I would like to take another swing.
All right.
Jesus.
All right, I hit it.
You did hit it. Let me see if it hits back.
You winged it.
Looking something up.
That doesn't sound good.
How many dice do trees have?
Well, if all our ears start bleeding from like the pile of dice.
What do
he throws.
depressed tree spirits roll for?
You'll have to ask. You'll have to ask Dewey. Well, it doesn't roll anything for defense. It's just a tree, and you hit it with your knife. And Drewby kind of called it. It's like you've opened a wound in your own arm. It's bleeding what looks like regular old human blood.
Oh my!
But it's not spraying on us.
No.
Okay.
No. You also, when your arm impacted, or when the knife impacted, you felt the jolt in your arm pretty solidly. It's like you struck stone.
Did my bone knife get harder?
I did.
Seems like it would need to.
Did your bone knife get harder?
Did you temper it? Is that what you're doing? It's tempered in tree blood.
No,
Hey guys, this tree is bleeding.
Can I try to talk to the tree again?
Oh dear God!
you.
Hey, remember when you didn't talk to me? We just stabbed you. So now how about we chat?
Well, the tree. You've still got spirit tongue active, and it has transitioned to something more like a wailing or weeping sound. It's a very unhappy tree.
Yeah.
I'd like to use my flamethrower on the tree, put it out of its misery.
Otherwise, I could. Yeah. I have the opportunity to heal the tree if we think we want to do that, unless we just want to kill
It's
it.
an evil tree.
Okay, we'll kill it then.
Why don't we just leave the
tree?
Leave the fucking tree alone.
You could just walk past it,
Okay.
Hey guys, this tree is aside from the fact that it's bleeding, this tree is perfectly normal.
No, it's not normal in any way. And
Let's
as
move along.
you've approached,
All
you're
right.
looking at it. It's and you hit it with a knife, and it looks like it's petrified along with all the wooden gravestones around here. It's like anything up here made of wood turns to stone eventually.
Is there like a say a baseball softball sized rock anywhere nearby?
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
you
I would
want
like to
to
pick
again?
one up and like just throw it at some of the wooden crosses off the path.
Well, they're not wooden; they're stone. But
I
okay,
thought these were the wooden ones that he writes the name on.
they
They're
were.
petrified
But
wood.
10 seconds
Okay.
ago, I just got done saying that everything wood up here turns to stone.
Yeah, I didn't know it was immediate.
Well, these have been up here for between 3 days and 50 years. So
The 3-day ones are already stone.
you don't see any here that are wood. You want to
Oh
look
Jesus
for,
Christ! Is there any wood up here, like a stick even off the edge of the hilltop?
You don't see anything. No.
Oh,
What, you have a
Jesus.
baseball bat?
I'm not losing my baseball bat.
What do you
I
want to
just-
do?
It
What do you
might turn
wanna
into
do?
stone.
I want to throw something that's not stone off the path and see if it turns to stone immediately. I thought they were
Oh.
because if we walk off this path and all of a sudden we become golems, that's a bad thing.
I would like to push Sammy off the path.
Oh, you dick.
Strength plus athletics.
I'm the only one smart enough to come up with this idea, you sons of bitches.
You're
I-
you're probably gonna have to grapple him first.
I imagine I'm standing off the path already because I had to stab the tree.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you're a bit
fair.
off the path, and you haven't turned to stone yet.
Okay, I still want to throw a rock at some of the gravestones.
Well, feel free.
Okay, what do I roll?
Strength and athletics to aim, I suppose, or well, more to heave. You could use dexterity and athletics if you wanted to be precise.
I would like to use dexterity and athletics, so
Do that then.
I'm gonna roll a 6. My dice
One
are
success.
so dark.
Yeah, change
They
your
are
color,
very
dude.
dark. Yeah, you should change your color.
I don't like dark things here.
No,
In world.
my
I'm
dice
yellow.
are white. Okay. Are you aiming for a particular stone? Do you see a name that sticks out to you and you feel like smacking with a rock, or?
No, I just kind of I want to get it towards like the middle, quite a ways from the path, just to see what happens when we disturb something off the path.
Okay. Nothing happens. the stone arcs into the mass of gravestones, and conspicuously enough, the wind dies down for a moment, so you can hear it land with a thud and echo around in a sort of an embarrassing silence.
It doesn't click off
And
a
it
stone
turns
at
to
all.
stone.
It didn't hit a stone.
Well, you didn't say you were aiming for anything. You said you were just trying
I
to
said
get
I was aiming for a stone in the middle because I was
Oh.
aiming for a stone.
Okay.
I wanted a gravestone.
Okay. Then yes, it makes a sharp clicking sound as it tacks off of a gravestone and then lands embarrassingly on the ground.
Embarrassingly.
We're all embarrassed for you, Drew.
You throw like a girl.
All right.
weed.
Well, I'm less paranoid about just walking through the damn stones off
Yeah,
the
that's-
path then. But I don't want to go anywhere near this bleeding tree.
Let's just take the path.
I would like to take the path, and I
Yeah.
have questions about the map.
Questions about okay. What questions do you have about the map?
So there's tiny little marks, and there's very many of them, which are I take it, the stone crosses or the...
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's some slightly bigger ones, and then there's some things that look like mausoleums or something.
Yep. So out at the edges here, these are what you're guessing are the wooden slabs carved by the old man that he was bringing up every day for 50 years and sticking in the ground with his shitty handwriting on them, and they turned to stone. Farther in, there's what looks more like a legit graveyard, like a cemetery, a nice cemetery with real graves, evenly spaced, that may or may not represent actual burial sites, and they are of varying styles. They look like, you know, there are names carved in several languages. From what you can see as you approach, anyway, you know, you can examine them and catalog them in greater detail if you like. But there are a lot of different styles of gravestones. You know, like how when you walk through a cemetery, you see some that are just flat,
Obliterated.
well, you see, some are very old and, you know, practically broken in half, and some are weathered down, and some are just slabs of granite stuck in the ground, you know, unceremoniously, and others are very ornate with angel wings, and, you know, this is more or less what you're seeing here. And then the bigger ones are, they are mausoleums or crypts or some sort of structure.
So my Diablo training tells me we should go open every single one of those.
What does Fluke think we should do?
Fluke is focused on the cabin.
So Fluke, any hesitation and let's just plod on through to the cabin without worrying about any of this other bullshit?
Well, let me remind you before I speak for Fluke that when you arrived at the peak a month ago, you angrily confronted Fluke and accused her of using you and leading you on and taking you into this dangerous situation, and she got real honest for a second and encouraged you to flee and said, yes, this is very dangerous, and if you want to go, now is the time. I will not think any less of you and your manhood.
Can't possibly think any less of his manhood.
She doesn't think of his manhood.
Hey, she had stirrings when I fired the gun out the window of the vehicle and took out that car behind us. I remember.
That's only because you made me roll for it.
I did.
He doesn't remember that the wood turns to stone. But 3 months ago, a pretend girl kind of got a little wet. He keeps bringing that up.
Yeah, well, it's all I have.
I would like to know, is my supernal vision still going?
Yes,
Or
you
do
should
I need
all
to
have.
refresh that?
No, you should all have. You know, supernal vision is your prime version of mage sight, but you've all put up mage sight, and it should be more or less active continuously.
All right, so can I just take a look around and see if I see anything that is has a magic resonance up here?
There's you know, you're surrounded by roiling clouds of you know, fallout or residue or whatever it is. You know, there's a lot of latent magic in the area, but you don't see what, you know. You suspect that if you looked at, you know, the sword Excalibur or something, it would have a fairly obvious signature, and you don't see any magic signatures in the graveyard. It looks like a relatively mundane burial ground.
Not the tree or anything. Maybe
Well,
something coming up.
the tree, yeah, there's something going on around the tree. There's something going on around your knife, but that's all your supernal vision tells you. It doesn't tell you that the tree has a spirit named Larry and the knife has a spirit named Sam. It's just it tells you that there's some magic.
They're not completely inert, basically.
Right.
Gotcha. All right, hey guys, let's just go down the path.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm fine with that.
I'll cover your back.
The other thing you noticed when you reached the peak a month ago, by the way, was you had your supernal senses, all of you, not supernal, but you all had mage sight and the ability to sense some magic, and there was a sort of a sound suffusing the entire graveyard. It's a It's not a sound though. It's not something you hear. It's essentially it's inaudible. But there's some sensation like a sound, and it's very faint. But as you move through the graveyard, you get a sort of magical sixth sense Doppler effect going on, and you can tell that you're moving in relation to wherever this is coming from. With a lot of successful, difficult rolls, you might be able to triangulate the direction, or you can just keep moving.
Let's try to do some triangulation.
Yeah, I'll roll something. What do we need?
Great question. Why don't you give me wits plus investigation plus gnosis?
Remember how to roll. Here we go. 4, is that enough?
That's a lot. That's why don't you continue walking down the path and see what this sort of magical Doppler effect tells you when you make another check. But the first check I would say was a success.
All right. I'll walk 20 feet down the path.
Mm-hmm.
Roll again.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Well, on a 2D plane, two points of reference are enough. So your first check was, right around here. Let me find a better color that's going to contrast with everything. How about magenta? So you first started checking this stuff out there, and then you checked it here. And from here, from the first spot, it seemed to be coming from... let me draw a shape. I want to draw a shape. I want it to be a circle. Can I draw a circle? Well, anyway, from the first check, it seemed to be coming, sort of in that direction. And then the second check narrowed it down, and it's coming from, somewhere in that square. You're getting closer and closer, and you think you're narrowing in on something. But you are probably, that's as much as you're going to get. You're going to need some help from someone else.
All right.
Hey guys, it's over in this square over here.
What do we? I missed entirely what you're looking for. I was reading the rule book.
A magical sound.
So the strange sixth senses you guys have all got now are telling you there's something like a sound in the graveyard, and Timmy's telling you it's coming from this direction. Something in that square there.
If it's like a sound, I feel like that's something that I should be able to use Force's magic to hone in on.
I would like to find the hidden hoard and see if there's like a cavity there that maybe there's a whistle in.
Okay, let's take those one at a time. First,
with a whistle.
First, what sort of Force's spell would you like to cast?
I'm not sure. Let's see here. How about Tune In?
Tune In. Let's see.
It's for free-floating data transmission, though. I feel like it's probably...
No, I think you just need some... if it's like a sound, then, it's... I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Maybe?
You're real quiet again.
Matrices?
I need to turn you all the way up or something.
Hey, even the light on my control for my microphone is fading in and out.
Oh, jeez.
I've never seen it do that before.
That doesn't
now
sound
it's lighting
good.
back up.
Oh, how many dots and forces do you have?
2.
Read matrices would certainly. I mean, that's the forces version of Mage Sight. That would probably help. But why don't we be a little more specific and improvise something? So you want to...
All right.
You want to hone in on what you're perceiving.
Yes.
So you want to we'll call it triangulate, and we'll pretend it works anytime there's a sound.
Awesome.
And it sounds like maybe a 2-dot spell. So why don't you go ahead and cast triangulate with gnosis plus forces, And while you do that, Droopy wanted to cast Find the Hidden Hoard.
I got nothing.
Damn.
Droopy
Neither of you
Also
did.
got nothing.
also got nothing. Okay. Well,
Can I do some like investigation or something?
well, that's kind of what you're doing. You're using spells to help you investigate.
Right.
Fluke's getting antsy. She wants to keep moving down the path.
Does she know where that sound's coming from, or what's causing the sound?
She hears it, but she's still focused on the cabin. She says that that's where she's pretty convinced that's where Adustus/Allison went. She's pretty convinced that if there is an entrance to anything, it's going to be either in one of these mausoleums or in that cabin. She's not terribly interested in the sound. Not yet, anyway.
Can she tell us what it might be? Because we're all a bunch of magic newbies and we're really fucking confused right now.
She's not sure.
She's gonna be a bitch about it. I knew it.
She says, "Well, it sounds like it doesn't sound like anything I've heard before, but that doesn't really help because every time every time you encounter something, it's usually something unique, and you hear something new or see something new, and eventually that's just the way things are. Welcome to being a mage."
Yeah, sure.
Great.
We can always come back if we don't die.
Yeah.
Or look, we'll find out somewhere else. We'll find out what's making that sound. She's not interested, and you have failed to investigate. So we'll just move on.
Let's make our way to the cabin, guys.
Yeah. Are you get you so
Get to the ambush already.
yeah, hurry up and get to the ambush. So you're passing the mausoleums and so forth now, and the more legit gravestones, the more traditional and substantial gravestones. And there are many more hundreds of the rudimentary markers, from the old man, kind of packed in between all the graves, filling in all the empty spaces. He's been at this for a very long time. There's a little bit of snow piled around the gravestones and mausoleums, and you assume that they provide some cover from, the wind whistling around up here. But most of the mountaintop is bare rock, scoured clear. Let's see. So if there's nothing else anyone wants to try and investigate, we will move on.
I want to look at one of the mausoleums and find the hidden hoard. Shut up.
He just wants to turn on his loot radar. Is that something he can just do?
What is that? What are you casting, Drew?
I found the hidden hoard on the nearest mausoleum to see if there's like a secret door into it. Or a secret way in.
No, there's just the normal front. There's two big metal doors, and they're barred, and it's a big old granite building.
And there's no secret compartments or hidden safes or vaults within it.
Well, there's all kind. I mean, there's a sarcophagus, and there's a coffin, and there's a
But are any of them secret?
Well, you're on the outside of the mausoleum right now. You sense a number of cavities inside.
Let's go, guys.
Drew enjoys the cavity.
Nobody likes a cavity search like Drew. You tell me.
To the cabin.
You keep going to the cabin.
Yeah.
I think so.
You guys suck. The secret to winning.
You can always come. You can always
secrets in the cabin.
It's true too. You can always come back out here after you kill Adustus and win the game.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to dick around up here after we're all bleeding and 3 of us are dead.
Okay. So every name, by the way, why don't you all give me a quick wits plus wits plus composure roll.
Everyone?
Yes, everyone roll wits plus composure.
I'm so composed.
This is just sort of your passive ability to perceive your surroundings. Wits plus composure.
Wow.
Jesus.
Shale.
Way to go, Dewey.
All right. So,
I am very perceptive.
Sammy and Timmy, you notice that there are graves.
Yes.
And
Good, our eyes still work.
and you notice more or less what I told you already, that they're in a wide variety of styles and varying degrees of decrepitude. Albacore, you've got a little more learned ability to study things like this, and you note that there's a huge variety of languages represented on the more legit tombstones. The smaller ones are all just old man chicken scratch, but the big ones, some of them are written in what looks like Latin with very old names, and some of them are written in relatively modern English and French. Some of them are in languages you don't recognize at all, with symbols you can't comprehend.
Oh my.
Yeah. Dewey, you notice that the mausoleums are covered in some sort of script. You have no hope of comprehending it or even reading it from the path. You would need to get very close. But the mausoleums are all covered in minute script work, the sort of work that someone must have spent. It would have taken a very long time to stand up every single one of these mausoleums and then decorate it like that.
Cool.
All right, so what else? Furthermore, Dewey, insofar as you're capable of reading what's on all of these gravestones, which is only the case in some small percentage of them, but you sort of mentally catalog the weird looking ones and the weird symbols and stuff, and it seems like even on the smaller old man gravestones, every name is unique. There's no repetition. Every single one of these represents a different person.
Are there dates on any of these?
Some of the bigger ones, yeah, and on the more modernish English and French ones, the dates stretch back to the like the 17th century, like the 1600s. Those are some of the oldest ones you see.
Okay.
Okay, so we're approaching the cabin. It was wooden once upon a time, but like everything else up here, it's been petrified. Its roof is sagging under the weight of centuries of snowfall, and as you approach, you see sort of the same thing Dewey just saw. The walls are scrawled with just neurotically minute calligraphy. There is a front door, and it looks like there's a back door, and there's a well outside.
I would like to drop a rock down the well.
Drop a rock down the well, okay. So thing number one that's going to happen is Drew's going to set off an atomic bomb by dropping a rock down the well.
Perfect. Okay. Then we'll just be dead, and we don't have to be panicked.
So
can we throw Tim down the well and then go get Lassie?
I support this plan.
So, Drew, you're approaching the well, and
yeah.
It's got there's some magic going on with the well. You're not sure what it is, but you can detect magic, and it looks like it's magical.
Oh, does Fluke think this is a bad idea?
She doesn't like you, Drew.
I would like to stare her dead in the eye and drop the rock while looking at her.
Let me roll something for her. All right, so you do that. you drop the rock, and Fluke is paying attention to you. And you hear a splash, which is actually kind of surprising. It's very cold up here, and there's no other water.
Sure.
And that's it.
Does anybody else think it's odd that there's a well on the top of a mountain?
Drink it.
Seems like it would have to be pretty deep to
Really,
hit that
really
water table.
How long did the rock fall? Like an unreasonably long
An
amount
hour
of
and a
time.
half.
An hour and a half. I don't know. How long does it take a rock to fall 50 feet?
Oh, okay. Well, I got my answer then.
Sammy, you should get a drink. You're good at drinking stuff. Remember before?
Is there a bucket on a rope? Is it like a proper
Yeah,
well, or
yeah,
is it
yeah.
just a hole in the ground?
There's a windlass and a bucket, and they appear to have been petrified. But you heard a splash.
I mean, is it a stone rock? I mean, or stone rope? Can I roll this thing down?
The rope has not.
The rope isn't made of wood.
The rope hasn't petrified. The rope is still rope, but it's old rope. So you can try and just haul. You can try and just haul the bucket up with your arms.
I would like to try to haul some water from the magic well up.
Okay. Well, let's see if the rope breaks. Why don't you give me 3 strength rolls? Just rolls strength.
Right now, Adeuce is looking out the window like, what the fuck are they doing?
What is this guy up to? Okay,
Wait,
strength roll 1.
What did you just do? That was a 1 roll.
2.
Okay.
Adeuce chance dice.
No, he's rolling his strength to see if he can pull up the bucket. And it turns out he cannot.
Can somebody give me a hand with
Let me
this?
help you, little lady. I'll roll 2. What? That's...
Hey, how's that smart
I'll
ass?
be nice too and help out.
Oh, it's very, very big of you. Okay.
I'm doing a chance roll.
Oh,
It was almost there.
all right. Nobody
I guess
can.
it's not happening.
Nobody can pull up the bucket. I guess we'll never find out what's in the well.
Stone bucket. Really heavy.
Can I try again?
How come I had to do 3 strength rolls? They only did 1.
It's going to take 3 successes to get it all the way up, so I thought I'd just have you roll. That's not how you roll 3 strength roll. Oh my
Hey guys,
god!
there's a cabin over here. We should
Really nasty, really heavy bucket apparently.
All right.
It's made of stone.
Well, you've all been sapped of
Not
strength
cold
by your
water.
trip up the mountain, and it's it's cold, and your muscles are. You need to warm up a little bit first, but Fluke is staring at the cabin.
She's got a thing for architecture.
She's got a thing. She really likes the walls and what's written on them. But
Stuff written on the walls of the cabin too.
yep, the whole cabin is. Did I not mention that? Whole
No.
cabin covered in minute
Yeah.
script.
You did
Yeah,
say
you
that.
did.
What's
So
up?
can we all this writing here, Fluke?
Oh, maybe I was just heard the
Say.
thing. I didn't realize it was the cabin too.
So, Fluke, what was your plan at this point?
She's improvising right now.
Can she read the stuff? I couldn't read the stuff, but can she read the stuff? Can you read the stuff, Luke?
Good question. Why doesn't everybody roll Wits plus Investigation real quick?
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, YouTube chat is pointing out I should have had you fall into the well for all your terrible failures.
I got 3.
Damn,
4
son.
rolls.
I got
Oh
2.
my god. Okay. So the guys who rolled
badly.
and got 3 successes.
Ew.
Actually, let me look at this real quick. Let me look at the character sheets here. Well, coincidentally enough, the 2 guys who rolled highest are the 2 guys in the group who speak high speech.
Oh goody.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So you would interpret the script as like a dialectal variation on Atlantean, or at least what Atlantean you are familiar with now. And you can, in fact, interpret some of it. It's like reading, something written by someone who lives in Kentucky, I guess.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
So it's redneck Atlantean.
It's maybe. I mean, you'd hesitate to. Maybe you wouldn't hesitate, but I would hesitate to put that sort of a connotation on it. But it is definitely dialectal, and it is definitely a variant.
Okay.
It might be the inbred cousin of Atlantean.
Your wife thought that was funny.
Yeah. So most of it is okay. Why don't the two of you, Tim and Albacore, each give me 2 more wits plus investigation rolls. No. Just roll wits plus investigation until you get to 5 successes.
All right.
All right, so 10 minutes pass with you staring at the walls of the cabin. Okay, another 10 minutes pass, and you're each at 3 successes. Oh my goodness!
6.
Okay, so
I'm at 6 and 2 rolls.
After about 23 minutes, Albacore has a bit of a breakthrough and reads a good portion of it. Most of it is stupid, quasi-religious mumbo-jumbo. There's a lot written about something called the 7 Faces of Immensity and a bound and conquered God, and it just sounds like a bunch of stupid Bible verses from something in a Sam Raimi movie. But there are also hefty runes of mystical protection. They seem inactive. They were, maybe they were canceled long ago, but they suggest that at least at one time this place was defended like a fortress. And there are also what appear to be names that come up a lot amongst the other gibberish. It's hard to decipher what's a proper noun and what isn't, but it sounds like some ancient-ass motherfuckers are entombed here somewhere. Specifically, they are, in, religious mumbo-jumbo terms, they are resting in splendor and gracing this place with death, and mostly just various euphemisms for they're buried here with a lot of stuff. And now that you're warming up and learning to read it, and this applies to Timmy too, there are incomplete magical formulas written here and there, including one for trapping and channeling energy from obedient souls in some kind of liquid.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But that's, after 23 minutes of standing around outside, you're starting to get real cold. And Fluke.
Does this cabin have windows?
Yep, there's windows, yep. Let me look at something real quick.
Okay.
Let's drag you over to the cabin here. So right now you should be able to see a black box.
Yep.
Okay. So zoom in to your heart's content, and that is the cabin. Right now you can only see the doors on the outside of the cabin, but there are 2 windows on the north face and 1 window on the west face.
On YouTube, we can see inside.
Yeah, well, don't look at YouTube then, you fucking cheater.
Well, I didn't know.
Screen peeking bastard.
It doesn't matter that much.
Reorganize the cabin quick.
Fine, I blocked it.
I would like to peek in a window.
All right. Which window? One of the north windows?
Yes, one of the north windows.
All right. There you go.
Hey guys, there's chairs.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'd also like to peek in the other north window. Is there a way I can get my dice off the screen?
Can I peek in, but at an angle?
I'd like to look at it from the far left of the
I'm sorry, but
it
it would take me too long to draw an angle.
Okay.
So let's see here. There you go. There's your cone of vision.
Okay, so it's a bearskin rug. Not like a dead body.
I mean, it's both.
True.
Oh,
I'm going to chance roll to pull the bucket out of the well.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Okay, well you failed, but
Damn it!
that
And now he fell into the well.
Yeah, if you'd rolled a 1 on that, something real bad would have happened.
Well, that's okay. That's what life is about.
Taking
Excitement.
chances. That's
all
life.
right. Do we want to walk around the cabin and peek in that back window, or should we just go in?
I'll run over there and peek in the back window.
Okay.
All right.
Tim is dead.
Timmy dies.
Something grew.
That bed scared the crap out of me. I would like to use voice from afar and project. Well, I suppose he can probably hear us. Maybe we can just shout at him. Because he's got to know we're here. Like, he's not an idiot.
We don't know that he's even here.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know that he's in the cabin. You want to investigate? You want to look for footprints? You want to cast some spells and see who's inside?
I'll investigate. I'm good at that.
What do you want to do? Other than look in the windows.
Well, can I detect? I mean, if my mage sight, whatever, my life detection thing is still up, I should be able to sense if somebody's in there.
You should, yes.
Anything alive, anyway.
With all the magic muddling your senses here, though, why don't you quickly roll Wits plus Investigation and focus on your ability to sense life, and make an explicit check.
So Wits plus Investigation.
Yes.
That's not very much.
That's enough. It seems that there is nobody in the cabin.
All right, chums, let's go in.
It seems unlikely.
All right. Which
After you, Fluke.
Fluke? She looks at the front door, and then hesitates and walks around to the back. She seems to be trying to decide how she wants to approach it. Do you follow her? Do you open the door? Do you knock on a window and break it open? What do you want to do?
Well, she told us we should just run away. So I feel like us just barging in when she's indecisive seems foolish. So naturally, I'll follow Dewey in.
Are there any light sources inside the cabin?
The windows are dark, aside from the whatever light filters in from out here. It is daytime.
Okay, I want to run around to the south door, knock on it, and then run back to where the other guys are.
You're playing Ding Dong Ditch?
Yeah.
All right. So Timmy continues his circuit around the building counterclockwise and knocks on the back door and then runs to the front, passing Fluke on the way around the southeastern corner, because she's on her way to the south door. So you rejoin the group near the front door.
All right.
Nothing happened when you knocked on the back door, aside from, you hurt your knuckles a little bit because the door has turned to stone.
Take one bashing wound.
The windows, as you guys have been peering through them, they are intact, but they're not made to open. And there are, there's tiny little bubbles scattered in the thick glass. It's very cold glass.
Very cold.
Very cold glass.
Shale, did you not have a rope? I thought you had a rope.
I think Shale had a rope, yeah. We can check your inventory, but I think you had a rope.
Rope that window.
No, I want a rope. I still want to get something out of this damn well, and maybe it's just an old bucket and shit. Let's do something here.
Drew, let it go.
No, it's important. There wouldn't be a well up here on the top of a mountain for no damn reason.
You're probably right about that, but you all failed
So-
utterly in attempting to pull the bucket up and wasted like
Oh.
10 minutes.
That's why I want to use our own rope.
Let's
and
see
perhaps
if we
just
can.
a water bottle.
If we can light up the bottom of the well, can we see that far? I don't know how deep this.
Can you see 50 feet down a hole?
I would
Probably
think
not.
so. I don't know if I can get light at the bottom of the well.
Yeah.
What if it's napalm down there?
I'll send some light down there.
Well, I was gonna say I can use my.
Oh, how are you-
infrared
how-
spell and direct light down the well.
He's got a big old flashlight.
So somebody's
Well,
got a
I-
big flashlight, and somebody else can manipulate forces.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can use influence light to send some fucking sunlight
right.
down there. if we want.
Exactly.
Ooh. All right.
Is
Do you
that-
want to do that?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. Roll Gnosis plus forces.
I've forgotten what time it is. Is it during the day now?
Yeah, it's daytime.
Okay.
Yay!
One success. That's enough. Okay. So in looking down the well, you see that maybe part of the reason you weren't able to haul this up, none of you, is that the rope is, kind of like frozen to the sides of the well, and there's a lot of snow and ice down there, and the music stops. Why did the music stop?
It did not stop.
Oh, it's just real
Muted
quiet.
it 'cause you were
I turned it up real quiet. Yeah, I turned it down real quiet because I'm scared.
Up
Good
real
lord.
low.
Up is down, down is up.
it's
Dogs
scary,
and cats living together.
All right, so there's a lot of snow and ice down the well, and the rope is more or less pasted to the sides of the well.
So the bucket's at the bottom?
The bucket seems to be at the bottom, but you can't really see it. It's beyond the surface of what looks like water. There's a little ripple down there, and you see Albacore's enhanced light reflecting back up.
Do we see our reflections? Or is it too far away?
If you had a telescope.
Okay. Are our reflections evil?
Do our reflections have goatees?
Yeah. Does anybody have anything we could tie to the end of Shale's rope to try and get something out of the bottom?
I have a bomb.
Meanwhile, Fluke has apparently entered the cabin.
Okay.
Oh, hell.
Through which door?
She went in the back door.
No side door, but who's to say?
Let's follow her in.
You're gonna go in the back door.
Follow. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to cover the other entrance.
Well, remaining outside.
So there's two doors to either side. There's a hallway. There's two doors to either side. Fluke seems to have ignored those, and she's opened the door into the main room of the cabin. If you want to follow her that far, she's in the main room.
I'd like to peek into the bedroom that we know is a bedroom because we peeked in that window.
All right.
It is indeed a bedroom.
It is a bedroom.
With a chair.
I'm gonna
The
peek in
chair,
the right direction.
the chair is facing you. If that's important information.
Is the bed petrified? I'm not inside. Never mind. I'll be quiet.
The portions of the bed that are wooden are petrified, and the floor is wooden and petrified, and the walls are wooden and petrified.
Wow. Let's peek in the other door.
Oh, this is spooky. Are you ready for this?
I'm spooked. A piano.
It's a harpsichord.
Well, the music was really, really
Yeah.
appropriate for there.
Is it a stone piano?
Yeah, it's petrified. The stone parts.
I bet you that sounds crazy.
All right, I want to go play it.
Oh, that
I-
seems like a terrible idea.
I want to play the top two notes, like breaking down the dozen.
Oh my god, dude. It's
Go
scary.
say this.
Like some weird fifth chord or something.
Go say these two notes. All right, so you play those two notes. Let me see what happens.
Oh shit.
You done fucked up, boy.
Where are the notes on the harpsichord?
Now we got into some weird, smooth jazz music here.
Spooky smooth.
The ghost is gonna come out and fuck you.
Wow.
I accept that.
It's like that scene in Ghostbusters where Dan Aykroyd gets a blowjob.
I can't find the fucking. It's been a month since I wrote this shit. Where is the shit about the shit? Hey now. I get a minute to think now and then.
That's copyrighted.
Alright, well. Not a great deal happens, as it turns out.
Darn.
But, oh, you know what? Hey. You played those two notes specifically. So, I have a confession to make. At this point, we are into some material from a module that I'm attempting to convert to World of Darkness, and use on the fly. Basically, the stuff here on the peak is I'm leaning heavily on this supplement, and in here it says, if someone plays the notes that Peter Venkman plays at Dana's apartment in Ghostbusters, a shrill scream echoes, and everyone present gains +1 to all saves.
Sweet.
Because the spirits hate that.
Is that the two notes you wanted to play?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't recommend experimenting too much, though. All right, so
All right, let's join Fluke in the main room.
I would have sworn there was some other notes about this stupid harpsichord. Maybe I invented the harpsichord. No, there's a harpsichord. Where's this shit about the harpsichord? Oh, okay. So you play the two notes, and everyone in the cabin can hear the notes because it's a loud ass harpsichord, and in fact it's made of stone, and it echoes a little more than your average harpsichord. And the chair in this room is also facing you, if you consider that important information.
I would like to investigate the chair.
Oh, okay.
Does it continue facing me if
Wait.
I move?
It moved.
I turned the chairs to indicate the direction they're facing.
Oh.
Oh, it's not that the chairs actually turned; they were facing the door.
Yeah, they were facing the doors.
Okay.
It's very mysterious.
All right, so what now?
Can I investigate the chair?
Keep
Yeah.
walking down the hall into the main room.
The chair, sure, yeah. So first of all, the chair is it's just a chair. Just a chair. So Dewey walks down the hall to the main room, and there you go. Let me describe what you see in the main room. So there's a well, you can see the most prominent feature is the bear rug on the floor. It's real classy. There are 2 chairs in this room, and 3 chairs actually, and they're all facing you.
Why do they keep moving on their own? I don't like it.
I'm just turning them to indicate which direction they're facing. That's all.
And these are all just normal, run-of-the-mill wooden chairs that have turned to stone.
When we looked out the window, when they looked in through the window, were they looking at them then?
You didn't notice.
Damn you people! All right, I'm gonna come in through the front door.
One second, we'll get to that in a second. So, there is a table with a book on it.
Yep.
It's the size of a torso, and it's bound in
Torso?
flesh. It looks like flesh. You can't read what it says on the cover, Dewey.
So it's closed?
It is closed.
Okay.
Actually, no. Sorry, it's laying. It's closed. The fireplace at the north end of the room is cold. No one's been using it. Big old bare mat on the floor. There's a clock on the wall that isn't working, and then 3 chairs facing you when you enter the room. Drew, you're coming in the front door.
Yeah.
Okay. The front door is petrified and hingeless, unattached to the frame, and when you push on it, it falls loudly into the cabin's main room, and let's see what happens.
Did I just crush Timmy?
Son of a...
Well, you scared the absolute piss out of anyone who was in that room. Fluke included, and she whirls around and shouts something angry at you in a language you're not sure you understand. But you're in now.
I don't really want to do strength rolls, but can I try to put the door back?
Yeah, roll strength.
How many times?
Start with 1.
Jesus Christ.
You turn sheepishly and attempt to pick up the stone door, and
Utterly failed.
you try to dig your fingers in underneath it, and you just awkwardly scrabble at the edges of the door for a solid 30 seconds before anyone takes pity on you and tries to help.
And we don't.
And no one ever does.
I'd like to try to read the book, please.
Oh,
I would like
okay.
to investigate the book.
Okay. Albacore approaches
Quietly to myself.
the torso book, and what do you want? It's bound in flesh, and it has fittings of tarnished brass, and the cover, since it's closed, and since you've become somewhat familiar with. It is no. I said it was open and corrected myself and said no, it's closed. So it's closed. And since you've gotten a little used to reading the weird version of Atlantean on the walls of the cabin and everywhere else, it's in that version of the language, and it's written, and it says "That which was given." That's the title.
That which was given. Oh my.
So you're going to open it up and take a look?
Yeah, let's do that.
I am going to switch to a different track, because this track is not atmospheric enough.
Well, it's a little woodsy.
A little woodsy. How do I tell Rhythmbot to switch to?
Next or something. I've done it before.
Are you listening to the rock music right now?
Isn't that... That's kind of guitar-y, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Kind of guitar.
Type exclamation point skip in chat, I think.
It sounds
For
right.
People to vote or something.
Oh shit! All right. I voted. Wait, what?
Oh, no. Now
Okay, hang on a
we
second.
don't
better.
count as people, I guess.
Let's just
Or it had already switched or something.
start it from the beginning. I think I already told it to switch, but let me find. I put a pinned message in here with all the shit. We're gonna
Great.
seek. No, we're gonna skip to track.
This has crickets, which I don't believe would probably be there because they'd be petrified crickets.
They're not made out of
They're
wood.
not made of
God
wood.
damn it.
I don't know
Let's
Listen,
let's
it's organic
skip to-
material, you bastards.
Let's skip to track 6.
So it's the bear rug, which is not made of stone.
Do you know that it's not stone?
I do.
Was that clearly stated?
It goes without saying.
This is all highly atmospheric.
I don't feel like it goes without saying.
What?
The damn piano is the bearskin rug actually still bearskin, or is it also petrified?
We'll get to the bearskin in a moment. Is that what you want to investigate?
I want to see if it
so-
has
so-
any resemblance
yeah,
to the
well,
bear
first-
that
so-
attacked us.
Not
Well,
made
so
out
yeah,
of-
so I'm done screwing around with the music now. Sorry that took so long, but so the Uve wants to look at the book. You open it up, and the cover says "That which was given," and the book, the handwriting and the ink vary from page to page, and they document it's names. It's at the beginning of the book. It's totally indecipherable symbols. You flip through half of the book and you start to find what look like letters at least, and it looks like it's lists and lists of names. You flip farther and farther toward the end of the book, and you start to find languages you recognize, English and French and German, and some Cyrillic on the here and there, and just every language that you've ever seen in your time as a librarian is somewhere in this book, and it looks like maybe millions of names. And toward the back of the book, the last, few hundred names have got a red thumbprint next to them.
What's the very last name?
The very last name is Mary Bell Walker.
Is Allison's name on that last page?
No.
Do I know anything? Does this book ring any bells for Albacore, bearing in mind that I have encyclopedic knowledge?
Why don't we roll something for encyclopedic knowledge?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a note. I have a note on what encyclopedic knowledge is.
Yeah, there was something about that. Let me find that.
Intelligence plus wits.
And it's to see if you can drag up some useful factoid.
Right.
All right, so intelligence plus wits. Go for it. Dude, good God. Good God! What the fuck?
I got 5.
That is an exceptional success, and so scouring your memory of every Discovery Channel documentary you've ever seen, and every card in every card catalog you've ever looked at, every Tumblr blog you've ever spent 6 hours scrolling through, there is nothing anywhere in your brain to tell you what this book is.
And I know that absolutely.
Well, with 5 successes, yes.
Right, okay. All right.
Drew, you wanted to investigate the bearskin rug.
I just want to, yeah, sure.
Find the
And
trapdoor.
apparently my wife thinks that's sexy. The book will not survive rough handling or the rigors of travel. It's extremely old, but you could take it with you and study it later if you wanted to.
I would like to put that in my bag.
I can use my smartphone and take pictures of the last few pages.
Sure.
Ooh,
yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. And what I already told you is what you will have in the pictures. It's much more recognizable names. And I say the end of the book, but it's not actually the end. There's plenty of blank pages after this, but the last page with any writing on it has names that you're easily able to read because they're in alphabets that are familiar to you. Ooh, set it down somewhere to. Nice.
That seems like a really good way to end up with a haunted phone.
All right, so Timothy's snaps some shots of the last few pages that have writing on them, and
And so the last
gingerly close the book and place it into my bag.
Okay, it is a very large book, but you place it into your bag. It's that the last several pages are contain hundreds of names, and they've all got red thumbprints next to them. The very last name is Mary Bell Walker. The last few, 1,000 or more names you are able to read, but before that it gets pretty inscrutable. You'll have to study it later.
All right.
Drew, bearskin rug.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with the bearskin rug?
I just want to know, is it petrified or is it fuzzy?
It looks like a 100-year-old bearskin rug. It's not petrified.
Okay, Drew
feel
takes
like
off his
somebody might
clothes
hide
and lays
something
on,
in its
on
skull.
Yeah, I would like to recreate what's his name from Smokey and the Bandit with the mustache? Burt Reynolds. I would like to recreate the Burt Reynolds Playgirl spread.
That seems like a good use of your time. Okay, roll.
Timothy has a camera phone, so we can do this.
Why don't you roll dexterity plus stamina
Jesus
plus
Christ.
firearms, and we'll see how it goes.
Plus firearms.
Well, you got to get your guns out, right?
Why don't I have? Wait, there it is. Okay, we're gonna.
You're not actually going to roll this, are you?
Yep, I'm rolling 7.
All right. Well, you get all your clothes off, and Fluke flees.
Are you happy now, Drew?
Yeah. I hate her.
As you lay your husky naked body on the bearskin rug.
I'm not husky. I'm scrawny.
As you lay your pencil-like greasy human form on top of the bear rug,
That's better.
you feel something very hard dig into your rib cage.
The handle of the trapdoor.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put my pants on, and we're gonna move the bearskin rug.
Roll dexterity.
Roll strength. Roll strength.
Before any of this, I want to point out that it's very telling that Fluke ran away, and you 4 or 3 perverts stayed.
We're used to it. I would like to investigate the fireplace real quick.
Okay.
No, I want
Before
to
he
move the
exposes
bearskin.
the trapdoor.
Wait, am I putting my pants on? Is that what's happening?
Yes. You
You
find
have
it
to
very
do a
difficult.
dexterity roll
It's
to get
gonna
your
be a
pants
while.
back on.
God damn it!
You want to investigate the fireplace?
Yes.
Roll wits plus investigation.
I don't know how you ever have a fire when every piece of wood you bring up here turns into a fucking rock.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably wasn't always like that.
Ooh.
4.
The fireplace. There is a mirror above the fireplace, and through it, you can see your reflection. You can see Fluke peeking around the door to make sure everyone's got their clothes on. You can see Dewey hanging around the book because he's proud to have discovered it first. You can see Timmy still diligently taking pictures of the book, but you cannot see Sammy. 1 second.
I'm gonna start frying some stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a little loud, but we'll live. You can't see Sammy. Everyone else you can see.
Is it because I'm on the floor?
It
Putting
might
my
be.
pants
Why
on.
don't you try standing up?
Is
I'm
it 'cause
gonna-
we're averting our eyes?
I would like to stand up.
Your mind has
refuse to see
deleted.
that.
Your mind has deleted Sammy's naked form.
I would
From
like
your
to stand
vision.
up and look in the mirror.
Okay. Well, you see Albacore, and you see Fluke now more confidently striding back into the room. You see Dewey and Timmy by the book, and you do not see yourself.
Huh.
That's weird.
Okay. So, guys, I think I'm a vampire.
Fluke.
That's the first time you thought that.
Fluke's interest perks a little bit, and she comes over and looks in the mirror and says, "Huh."
Have you drank any blood lately?
Yeah.
Wait.
Have you drank any vampire blood recently?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I did. I did drink some vampire blood.
She
Funny you
rolls.
should ask.
She rolls some dice. Oh, and she fails completely. Well, you might be a vampire.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Did you want to do something with the bear rug?
Yeah, I'd like to. Well, I'm a little disconcerted by the fact that I can't see my reflection.
No, that's
Maybe
fair.
somebody else should focus on the bear. Hey, when I was laying naked on the rug, I
turns
felt
to
something
face.
underneath it. Why
The
did
bear.
I
The,
put
the,
it
the,
back?
the bear can't see your reflection in the mirror either.
Oh, damn it.
Is that why the rug just turned and looked in the mirror?
The rug's a little bit freaked out. Okay, so who wants to try and move the rug? I don't take strength rolls for granted anymore. Who wants to roll strength and try to move the bear rug?
Who's
I'll
got
try.
the most?
I got 2.
I've got 3 strength.
We're gonna have Fluke roll too and see if she can help you weaklings.
I got 1 success.
Oh my god! Fluke got a 10.
I moved the bear rug 3 inches.
You moved it. It moved.
Hey!
It's a trapdoor.
Oh my god. No way.
So,
So, before we deal with that, can I use my? I want to see if I've got this right. I think I can use Speak with the Dead to detect if there are any hidden presences.
speak with the dead. Okay, which spell is that? Is it just literally called
It's
speak
called
with the dead?
Speak with the Dead. It's Death 1.
Okay. I'm looking at the
I don't
wrong
know if
fucking thing.
the description makes it seem like it might be limited to Twilight, but then maybe not.
Let's look at Death 1, Speak with the Dead. See, hear, speak with ghosts in Twilight. So ghosts are, semicolon, detect presence even if hidden. So Twilight is a state of existence that's more or less overlaid over the material world you're familiar with. So
Right.
it's if a ghost were manifested in the material plane somehow, it would probably be in the form of a possession. They spend most of their time hanging out in Twilight, but I mean, you can cast this spell and see if there are any ghosts nearby in Twilight and speak with them if there are. Did you take this as a rote?
No.
All right, then just roll Gnosis plus Death.
Ooh, good. That's going to be 2, I'm pretty sure.
Could spend a point of willpower.
What does that allow me to gain 3 dice?
3
Yeah,
extra
sure,
dice,
Let's
yeah.
do it. Let's do it.
Nice.
Nothing.
Well, mark the point of willpower off on your character sheet. You want to try it again?
How do I mark it again?
Just double click on the little square and
Ah, there it is. Sure, I'll try it again. Awesome.
nice. Well, you've spent 2 points of willpower and taken 2 or 3 minutes doing this.
All right.
You can try one more roll. You don't have to spend another willpower. Just roll your 2 dice and hope for the
All right,
best.
fine.
People seem to be indulging you. Okay.
Ah, fuck it. Surely nothing bad will happen.
You can try later. Okay. So, what are we doing? Dewey, you've been quiet for a while. What are you up to?
I'm just watching all these fools try to do stuff. Just trying to
Anyone
see
anyone
if,
can take an action here.
I would like to open the trapdoor.
Okay.
I was gonna say I want to carry one of the chairs in front of them and say, "Look at this shit," because it's floating.
There's still time.
Well, you're still there. You just can't see yourself in the mirror. It's not like you're invisible.
I'm invisible in the
Drank
mirror.
blood, so
Okay, I've lost track of who wants to do what.
Albacore wants to open the door,
Okay.
but he's an utter failure at pretty much everything. So I don't think
Well, he's no good at talking to the dead. I'll tell you that much.
maybe they just don't want to talk to him.
Yeah. So Albacore wants to open the trap door. Dewey, were you going to do anything, or
We'll see what happens if he gets. I'll try to open the door if he can't.
we'll see if he dies? Okay. Give me a strength roll, or examine it, or just grab hold of the handle and yank, or strength
I'll
roll.
give you a strength roll.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
we're never getting into the basement.
So you grab. There's a big old metal ring attached to this thing, like in all the cartoons, and you grab it and yank on it, and it doesn't even budge, and that allows you to realize that there is a large padlock securing it.
Oh.
All right. Hey guys, it's locked.
Fluke says, "Hey, well, I guess Adustus didn't come through here then, huh? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't." And she reaches down and grabs hold of the padlock, and nothing happens. And then she grabs hold of the padlock again, and nothing else happens.
Wait, there's a padlock, so this is not a strength roll?
You can roll strength if you want to.
Well, you have somebody's got larceny, right? They could try to.
Can I just try to hit the? I want to hit the padlock with my crossbacks and just break it.
I do have larceny.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, you have larceny. Okay, so Timmy hits it with his demolition hammer,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, he did it before Sammy could use his larceny. Well, actually, I think Sammy used his larceny. Is that what that roll was?
I
That was
think it
just
was
a strength. But
You were just rolling. Okay.
Yeah, what would larceny be?
Larceny would be dexterity plus larceny.
Okay. That would be this. Well, that's not 45.
45 dice. All right. So things kind of all happened at once here, but so Sammy knelt down and started picking the lock, and then Timmy took a swing at it with his demo hammer and broke all of Sammy's fingers. And
God damn it!
So 2 successes is enough to pick this lock if we want to let Sammy go ahead and do that. It's not a very complicated. It's very old. It's an old iron lock.
My roll was actually to try to break the muscle open the trapdoor.
Yeah.
Not to hit
Oh, okay.
anyone with a hammer.
So Sammy picks the lock, and he gets it off. And you use your massive strength to... He gets it off, yep. And then you use your massive strength to get 1 success and lift the trapdoor. Well done, sir. The trapdoor is now open. And there is a shaft leading down. You're gonna need shaft, yep. You're going to need some light to tell what's going on down there.
I'll send some light down there.
Or we could use a flashlight.
Well,
I'm
you
a
can...
mage.
We're
I
mages
can
now,
send
man.
light
We don't need
places,
flashlights.
You can...
Isn't that vulgar? Isn't that a vulgar spell?
Good question.
bending
I don't think. I mean, it could be if a sleeper saw it and didn't like it, but it's not on its own.
None of them here, just us and that vampire.
Just you guys and that weird vampire. Influence light, yeah, to guide the direction or flow of light. So there is some ambient light in this room that you can force down the hole, which is enough to show you the first, some of the shaft leading down, and it looks deep. There are handholds, but there's no ladder. It's relatively narrow, and it goes down farther than your manipulated light can illuminate. But it's possible. Well, why don't you and Dewey both roll wits plus composure?
Wits and composure.
Quick, tie your rope to the bear and we'll climb down.
the bear.
Tie it to that big ass door we can't fucking move.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, it occurs to you, Dewey, that you've got a big old flashlight, and you've been watching Albacore bend the light, and it seems he can enhance beams of light, so, you could turn on your flashlight, and he could probably make it an even more impressive beam.
Teamwork.
Sure, I can.
Okay.
Didn't Dewey break his flashlight when he missed Big Corpse Lady and struck the ground instead? Well, Dewey may have, yeah, I guess. Is that what happened with your flashlight with the Big Corpse Lady?
I don't remember.
Oh no!
8 weeks ago.
Nobody remembers. Well,
It must
we'll
not
say-
have happened.
We'll say if it happened way back in Madison, and he probably would have bought a new flashlight or repaired.
Yeah, you
his
went to a
flashlight.
hardware store in that Canadian village.
You did go to
Yeah.
a hardware store in Sudbury, so
That's true. And
Otherwise, I could
bombs
just
and
use
stuff
light
and
mastery
things.
and create some light.
That sounds like a high level spell. What level light
Oh shit,
forces do you need
that's
to do
forces
that?
3. I'm not forces 3.
Yeah. It is something you can do, but not with 2 dots.
You're not that
Yeah,
talented
there
a
we go, 3
wizard,
dots.
Harry.
We'll just have to say that he got his flashlight fixed then.
Yeah.
Refixed.
All right, so you get the flashlight on. You take the already impressive mag light beam and you know spread it out so it evenly illuminates everything and all the way down to the bottom, and it looks like it's about 50 feet deep. And it's obvious that due to the narrowness of the passage, it's going to be hard to climb down with like a pack tied to your back or something. You could lower it down ahead of you or leave it up here, but you're not going to be able to fit down with a backpack on or a satchel at your side or something. Or I mean, you could try it, but you'd probably end up smacking it into the wall and breaking something.
Can I quick look outside and make sure nothing is amiss?
Sure. Look out one of the windows or the door you knocked down.
I'll look
and
out the
didn't set
front
back
door.
up. Yeah, you never set the door back, so
No, I was not able.
let's see. Nothing appears to have changed outside. So,
Okay.
okay, so what do you guys want to do? Down the shaft?
Down the shaft. I'll drop my pack and I'll stick my bone knife in my belt and my wolf gut sling in my pocket.
Hell yeah, bro.
Climb on down.
Okay.
We
who's-
should
mhm.
give him the rope.
Let me look
Tie it
up.
to the
Oh,
table or something.
you're just gonna let him go first and take all your stuff?
Well, what did we determine? Like, how are we getting? What's down there that are we climbing down, jumping down? What did we see?
There's
You-
handholds, but no ladder.
yeah. So
So
far,
I'm
you've
climbing down.
so far you've just elected to go down, and that's Fluke is fully in support of that plan. That's where she wants to go. Climbing. Let's do. If you want to try and use your rope, you think you could probably tie it to the table. The table looks pretty solid now that it's made of stone.
Yeah.
Do you want to tie your rope up here and use it to descend, or do you want to keep it with you?
And it's elvish rope, so it'll just untie itself when we get
Yeah.
to the bottom.
You can just blow it a kiss, and it'll come
I'm sure we
undone.
can do some kind of magic to untie it from down there.
You can certainly try. All right, so you tie the rope. You drop the end of it down. It's going to be probably, if it's a 50-foot rope, it'll be probably 8 feet from the bottom. And climbing down will be strength plus athletics plus 2 for the use of a rope.
We're all gonna die.
Awesome.
Strength, athletics, and 2. And we're all climbing down, or just whoever wants to?
Whoever wants to. I believe Albacore is going first.
I'm definitely going. And failing.
Oh no!
Well, let's see. All right, so you slip. You're trying to hold on to the rope and the handholds and your bone knife and trying to keep your hands on everything all at the same time, and you slip. But you do manage to catch hold of something and prevent yourself from falling the entire way down the shaft. But you take 1 bashing wound as you smack against the side.
Great.
We'll say you grabbed the rope and it sort of twisted your wrist and gave you a pretty nasty burn on the side of your hand.
All right.
Behind you, Timmy is having no trouble whatsoever, and he descends without issue.
Awesome.
Anybody else want to go down?
Yeah. I will try this as well.
Wow, okay. Well, likewise, Dewey makes his way down, and in fact, he's juggling his flashlight as he goes. Sammy, it's time for another strength roll.
Did Fluke go down there?
You want Fluke to go first? Ooh, she rolled 2 10s. She's fine.
I guess, yeah, I'll go down. What am I rolling?
Strength plus athletics plus 2. Or you can be a brave man, and being that you're the last one down, you could untie the rope and drop it down to the rest of them so they can use it somewhere else, and then climb down with nothing but the handholds and hope that your friends will catch you when you fall.
I'll do that.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, risk no risk, no reward, right?
That's right.
So you first give me a dex roll to untie that. No, I'm just kidding. You untie the rope and drop it down the hole, and now you're rolling strength plus athletics with no rope bonus.
I have a survival talent. Does that help?
And that will help if you take so long getting down that you begin to starve.
Oh no.
All right.
We'll catch you.
Just like albacore, you slip, but you don't have a rope to catch. Do you want to try and grab some of the handholds, or do you want to just wait for everyone at the bottom to try and catch you?
I'm going to grab for the handholds because these fuckers will just let me clunk.
All right. Give me a strength plus athletics check.
Okay.
Goodbye, Sammy. We will miss thee. One success. Okay. You manage to snag hold of a handhold, and it bends 2 of the fingers on that hand backwards as you fall into it, and you take a bashing wound. But you are no longer falling.
I would have figured I had a what do you call it? Like a dislocated shoulder or something instead. But okay, I'll take it because I'll come back in 15 minutes.
Do you want a dislocated shoulder?
No. I'll just take the bent fingers. That's fine. Which arm is this on?
You were trying to sell me on the fact that you're a little light dude. I mean, if you were like a 250, 300 pounder, then yeah, you'd have a dislocated shoulder.
No, listen.
Right now.
If you're falling down a hole and you grab something to save you, it doesn't matter how much way.
Maybe you've got very strong shoulders. Did you ever think of that?
That's clearly what it is. That's why I
Come
can
on,
lift
masturbating.
doors. Oh wait, I can't.
I didn't say you had strong arms. Just very robust shoulders.
Well, that is a very specialized workout.
It's the Jessica Biel workout. Okay.
Oh,
The hallway is about 8 feet wide. The walls, ceiling, and floor are raw granite, like the whole thing was carved straight out of the mountain. The floor here has been polished by the passage of feet. It looks like pictures you've seen of, like, the inside of the pyramids of Giza, as if there have been hundreds or thousands of years of traffic wearing a trail down the middle. To either side of this worn path, there are 2 rows of stone slabs set into the floor, and they're each 6 or 7 feet long, 2 or 3 feet wide, and they are oriented in the direction of the hallway. So some light is filtering down from the top, but mostly you're seeing this with the help of the Dewey and Albacore enhanced flashlight situation. Fluke begins to walk down the hallway, and as she sets foot, further down, you hear a loud knock.
Oh boy.
Like behind us or in front of us?
Give me wits plus composure.
Is...
It echoes around in here, and it's coming from sort of all around, but mostly in front of you. Farther down the hallway, not where you are, not above you, but from the hallway.
So
Who wants to do something?
tell us about these slabs. I'd like to investigate the slabs that you mentioned.
Okay. They're made of a different type of stone. As I said, the hallway was granite. The slabs look like something else. You're not a stone expert, but maybe they're marble.
Are they
Maybe they're
petrified
sandstone. Maybe
No,
they're
they're
petrified
actually
wood.
stone.
No, they're actually stone. They don't look like they have wood grain, but that's an interesting notion.
Okay. I'm guessing they're like crypt covers or something. I don't know what those are called, but
The sarcophagus lid.
yeah. There's no like ornamentation or carvings on them or anything.
No, they're blank.
Just different stone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess we keep moving.
All right.
Yeah.
Albacore walks, and you hear another sharp knock from further down the tunnel. Fluke is continuing to move, but hesitantly.
So, like, each time he steps, we hear a knock, or just there's occasionally a thing?
Well, so far you've heard 2 knocks. And now, as you move down the tunnel, it's pretty clear that the second knock was, definitely in the tunnel. I mean, there's no doubt that it's coming from somewhere in the tunnel. It's echoing around, and it seems to be coming from in front of and behind. It's from all around.
I missed it. When we came down the stairs, we're in the middle of a tunnel. We're not at the end of it.
No, you were at the end of the tunnel, and now you're
Okay.
walking down the tunnel.
But we're hearing noise from behind us.
Now you are, yes.
Jesus,
No,
why
no.
didn't I stay up top?
So there's a few scattered knocking sounds now as you continue down the tunnel, and they're sort of starting to sync up. It's like it's like there's something. It sounds like something falling or just something smacking into something else, and most of the knocking sounds are starting to seem like they're in unison. But there are still a few stragglers that are not in time.
Great.
And after about 35, 40 feet, you come to... Ooh. The way forward is blocked by what looks like a wall of pillowy flesh. That's
Pillowy flesh.
pillowy flesh. Yes, like a
I would like to
massive-
push Fluke into it.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
God damn it!
Use your willpower.
Fluke sees you coming and
No.
dodges out of the way. And rather than planting your hands firmly in the middle of her back, you plant them in the middle of a wall of
Fleshy
pillowy
wall.
flesh. And it's cold to the touch, but it's dry. It's not like glistening with grease or something. It's dry.
But it's pillowy.
It's pillowy, and it feels sort of light, and it's heaving slowly as if something massive is taking pained breaths.
Jesus.
Does it look like it's like one solid piece of pillowy flesh, or is it
Never
all
mind.
kinds
Albacore, stab it with the bone knife.
of... You know,
It looks like one solid piece, and by the way, all the knocking around you has synced up completely. And after 3 or 4 eerily coordinated knocks, they fall silent.
Great.
Stab it with the bone knife.
Am I sensing any other odd life down here at all?
You sense a few murky, sort of large and blurry. Like it's you're getting an indistinct impression of life. Yes, there's
Okay.
something down here.
Okay. Any particular place? Like on the other side of the flesh wall, or just?
Well, I mean, the
somewhere
flesh wall
regular
is a
stone?
wall of flesh, so it's
That's true.
possible that that's one of the life signs. But there's a couple. There's a couple. And you
Pillowy,
hear.
cold, and heaving. Does it have a nipple?
Does it have a nipple? It does not have a nipple. But thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
You hear 6 deafening cracks, and the 6 stones in the floor shatter.
Oh, Jesus.
The timing is so perfect; it seems like an explosion all around you in the entire hallway, and the dust and fragments of whatever these covers were are raining through the air, and then everything settles back to the ground in silence. And the stones apparently covered holes in the ground, which now lie open.
These are behind us now?
You're sort of strung along the hallway, unless you've all jammed yourselves up against this wall of flesh. So you're sort of surrounded by these, what are now holes in the ground.
Okay.
But many of them are behind you. And from each of the 6 holes, an arm reaches up out of the darkness. 6 right arms, to be specific. Each of them is withered to the point of almost being skeletal. There's no flesh left, but the skin is still intact. It's well preserved, stretched tight, and darkened like aged leather. Golden bracelets and rings are adorning the arms at the hand and wrist, but further down the shoulder they're covered with like scraps of paper, ancient scraps of, it looks like 1,000-year-old paper mache.
So they're mummies.
Well, they look kind of like mummies.
Okay, well, I draw my flamethrower.
It is 10 o'clock. We could stop here, or we could engage in
feel like
the next part of the
probably-
encounter here.
Now, so I just, in the meantime, got a phone call and an email and a text that school is canceled tomorrow here.
Oh my God!
Woohoo. I'm pretty tired tonight. I don't think I can go much longer.
Yeah, I think you've queued up an encounter here, so it would be something to get into that would be a little more than we want to do right now, I suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We can wait.
6 creepy mummies. All right. Well, we'll stop for now
a
then.
flesh wall.
And a wall of flesh
Great.
blocking
All right.
the way forward.
Can't wait till I get my bonus point for checking the pillowy wall for nipples.
You got nice and close to it.
I did.
Oh,
Soft.
and
If it was
yielding.
warm, I probably would have taken my pants off again.
Trust Ruby to take his pants off in the middle of a goddamn. Anyway, good night, YouTube.
Good night, YouTube.